They guilt trip you the moment you set even the smallest boundary. They explode over something tiny and act like it's the end of the world. You try to have a calm conversation, and somehow you end up being the one apologizing. They sulk in silence for days, waiting for you to chase them down and fix it. Or they dismiss your feelings with a laugh. You're too sensitive, you always overreact. If this feels familiar, you're not imagining it. You're probably dealing with someone who's emotionally immature. Emotional immaturity isn't always obvious, but you know it when you feel it. It's when someone reacts like a child in an adult situation. They lash out instead of listening. They run away from conflict instead of working through it. They can't handle being vulnerable, so they hide behind blame or denial. An emotionally immature person can be described quite simply as someone who lacks empathy, can't self-regulate, and struggles to see life from anyone's perspective but their own. They don't reflect. They react. And when you're on the receiving end, it's exhausting. This is especially painful when the person isn't just a partner or a friend, but a parent. Because if the people who raised you never developed emotional maturity themselves, they couldn't model it for you. And you end up carrying their immaturity like a weight on your back. So why do people stay stuck here? For many, it starts in childhood. If they had parents who were unavailable, inconsistent, or unsafe, they never learned the basics of self-soothing. They grew up without anyone to help regulate their emotions, so as adults, they never built the skills to regulate themselves. Some rely on unhealthy coping mechanisms: food, alcohol, anger, withdrawal. Others cover deep insecurity with control or blame, and almost all of them fear vulnerability, because being open would mean facing wounds they've avoided their entire lives. Understanding this doesn't excuse the behavior, but it does explain why these patterns repeat. Here are 3 strategies to deal with emotionally immature people. 1. Boundaries that stick. Emotionally immature people will push your limits, whether they mean to or not. They'll demand your time, dismiss your needs, or pull you into their drama. The only way to protect yourself is with boundaries. Remember that boundaries aren't cruelty, they're self-care. And yes, this applies even with parents. You can still love them, but you don't have to absorb their chaos. Say it clearly, repeat it calmly, and hold firm. You're not shutting them out, you're shutting their immaturity out. 2. Stop taking it personally. One of the hardest parts of dealing with an emotionally immature person is the way they make you feel. Dismissed, invisible, blamed. But here's the truth. Their reactions aren't really about you. Their outbursts, their sulking, their defensiveness, these are all signs of their own unhealed wounds. Once you stop seeing their behavior as a verdict on your worth, you stop carrying their baggage as if it's your own. That's when you break the cycle of self-blame. 3. Model maturity, but protect your energy. You can't control their behavior, but you can control yours. Model calm, model accountability, model empathy. Sometimes, showing maturity sets the tone for how the relationship goes. But always remember this: don't lose yourself trying to fix them. If the cost of staying close is your peace, it's okay to step back. That might mean limiting contact, changing expectations, or seeking support outside the relationship. Because protecting your energy is not abandonment, it's survival. Dealing with emotionally immature people, especially parents, can feel like an endless loop. You keep hoping they'll grow up, apologize, or finally see you. But here's the truth: you can't make them change. What you can do is change how much of their immaturity you allow to run your life. So if you've been the adult in the room since you were a child, listen carefully. You deserve relationships that don't drain you. You deserve connection that feels mutual, not one-sided. And you deserve to stop carrying the weight of someone else's unfinished growth. You've been watching The Soft Skills, Like and subscribe for clarity without the chaos, and gentler answers to the hardest questions about love and family.